One of the world's richest men indicted by US.
Mr. Adani,
his nephew Sagar Adani,
has broken both American law and Indian law.
The Adani Bribe gate storm continues to rage on.
7 other senior executives indicted by the Justice Department.
Why Mr. Adani is still running around a free man in this country?
Well, Indian billionaire Gautam Adani has been indicted on multiple counts of fraud in the United States.
Adani ji ko ekdam arrest kiya jaye.
So this is Gautam Adani, who is a powerhouse politically and financially in India.
क्योंकि हिंदुस्तान के प्रधानमंत्री अदानी जी के पीछे खड़े हुए हैं और उनके प्रोटेक्टर हैं.
Do you really think Gautam Adani case of bribery is a genuine case? You must be thinking why Security and Exchange Commission of America, SEC, and DOJ, Department of Justice, are actually initiating case against one of the world's richest billionaire in the world, Gautam Adani, and his company. Do you think the entire Adani bribe gate is because of deep state functioning behind the veil? Do you see any linkage of the leader of opposition visiting to US, meeting people like Umar Alam, also some actors who could be planning something bad for India using their deep state? Gautam Adani, a billionaire businessman and a power player in India, built an empire spanning coal, defense and renewable energy. His ventures, including Adani Green Energy, were hailed as the future of sustainable growth. But now, allegations of corruption and bribery threaten to overshadow his legacy. We are going to discuss about the recent allegation which has been levied in US courts against Gautam Adani and his affiliates and his companies in US on account of bribe and other corporate scandals. From being one of the richest men in the world, Gautam Adani, who has built his legacy in the field of coal, in the field of energy, is now under a deep corporate scandal of $250 million bribe gate, which is being now indicted in US court.
A solar project in India that the group was trying to get underway, and it wasn't commercially viable at the rates they wanted their energy to be bought at, and so they turned to, under the allegations, they turned to bribes. They bribed their way through this to get it accepted from a state-owned energy buyer, and then...
You must be thinking that how come Gautam Adani, the richest man in the world, facing the criminal charges of bribe and corruption in US for the bribes which he gave to the Indian states for securing contracts for solar energy plants. This is a saga of Gautam Adani from being greatness to a corporate scandal scam. This news on November 21st, just before the voting of Maharashtra election, has shaken the entire stock market. Let's not forget, in US, the current democratic government is going, and new president-elect Donald Trump is going to be in power from January 2025. And Donald Trump, in his campaigns in US, has clearly said that he is going to dismantle the deep states which disturbs other countries and in fact create conflicts because of their nefarious intentions and policies.
If you want to defeat the deep state, vote Trump.
Before I begin, let me explain you about the US justice system so that you are aware how this case, which has actually happened in India, being indicted in the US courts. In US, the federal structure has a department called Department of Justice, which is like a court which actually can put a case and initiate a prosecution and also do trials and prosecute and issue some kind of a sanction as well. On the other hand, the way we have Security and Exchange Board of India, SEBI, which regulates the stock market in India, likewise, we have SEC, Security and Exchange Commission of America, which actually monitors and governs the entire stock exchange related activities in the US. Adani was supposed to raise a lot of money from the US investor for the projects he was driving. Now, if you are raising money in US by way of bonds, by way of ADRs and GDRs, American deposit receipts or global deposit receipts, or by way of bond or by way of a stock issue, in that case, you have to do SEC filing. You have to have right policy process framework for the SEC for the investor. In this case, one of the requirement was to have a strong policy framework for anti-bribery and corruption. That is called ABC. So Adani, in order to secure contracts from these state governments, has in fact given bribe to the extent of $250 million to ensure favorable terms and conditions on the project. Now, if Adani Group is going global and they want to raise money from the US, they have to comply with the US laws and regulation. One of them which is SEC necessary disclosures and filing to the investors of US. What the SEC and DOJ are alleging is that they've initiated a case against Adani Group. They allege that they're involved in anti-bribery and corruption. And if they're involved in that case, they want to come heavily and in fact penalize and in fact debar, in fact issue an arrest warrant on the officials. Let me take you back to the year 2000 when the Sarbanes-Oxley Act, SOX Act, came in US. The Sarbanes-Oxley Act came because of a lot of corporate scandal happened in US, and that's how the reporting under section 302 and 404 have been initiated, wherein the top management involved in frauds will be accountable and will be penalized. A lot of people are raising their eyebrows that how come just before the Parliament session of India, the winter session is going to begin, the people are also alleging, are also conspiring. In fact, they are thinking that the Parliament will be held ransom. Do you think that this act of releasing such news just before the Parliament session is starting, just before the Democrats are leaving the White House and the Republicans are coming, this is in fact some act of deep state destabilize Indian stock market and in fact dethrone the billionaire investor who is looking to give jobs, in fact who is looking to invest billions of dollars in the US market. Just see this news when Gautam Adani in fact congratulated Donald Trump about his victory and committed to give employment and investment in US in the energy sector. The entire saga started in the year 2020. What SEC or DOJ are alleging is that this billionaire businessman, his energy, his company on solar energy is involved in bribing Indian officials in the Indian state. There are 5 states which are mentioned. My question is, did Adani compliance team, the regulatory compliance team, the filing team who is doing filing and raising money, do they have a right FCPA compliance structure or not? Do they follow the regulatory compliance of SEC or not? If these bribes are genuine, then in that case, the SEBI, the Indian government and the Indian enforcement authorities may also in fact come up and start acting and see whether these cases are genuine or not. On the other hand, on the very same day, here is the press release which Adani Group has issued saying that these charges are baseless and they will follow the rule of the law and they will also follow a proper court procedure to in fact claim that they are not done any crime. What next for Adani Group? When this US court has in fact said issued warrant and they have come up, if they have initiated the process of prosecution, in that case, in fact, the Adani Group will have to defend themselves by proving them that they are not guilty. They have to, in fact, follow a long legal battle. When the Democrats are moving out, Republicans are coming in. Do you think that in corporate America, like the big corporate scandal which happened during the Sarbanes-Oxley time, this could be one of the cases which will bring up those old memories of SOX and Sarbanes-Oxley compliances? And also the FCPA, which is robust and strong to cater to any kind of foreign corrupt practices. Do let us know in the comment what is your take on the entire Adani corporate scandal. Do you think that this is a genuine case initiated by US regulatory authorities? Do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Do share your comments and also let us know what kind of case studies you would like us to bring for you. Please hit the bell icon for all the explosive case studies which you're going to bring in future as well on the world of global finance, structures, governance,